Alrighty, yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today we're going to react to how Family Matters should have ended. Without further ado, we're going to get right into this. This is by a new channel I discovered. It's called Cause I'm Just Black. My face cam is in the way, so you can't really see it, but it's Cause I'm Black TV. You only got 300 subscribers. Hey man, go subscribe to his channel. Get his subscribers up so that way he can start getting paid on this YouTube shit, man. I just recently came across his channel. He does some very good videos. We're gonna be definitely reacting to his with the absence of Prim until Prim start uploading new videos, because like I said, that Prim well is dry. And I'm trying to find more channels that's similar to Prim. He does a pretty good job. This is how Family Matters should have ended. We're gonna watch this. Please go subscribe to his channel. He needs to get his subscribers up, man, for real. You know what I'm saying? He definitely does a good job. Definitely. I definitely support all black YouTube channels. Whether I disagree with you on certain topics or agree with you on certain topics, I'm always support black YouTubers on this platform because we don't get enough support as is. YouTube only supports women and gay niggas. Just the regular everyday dudes, we don't get no love. So we got to start supporting ourselves. Yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it.
Urkel in space. Yep, that's how they ended the series, a 9-year-long show in Family Matters with Urkel in space. Yeah, we gotta change that because Family Matters deserve a better ending than that. So that's what we're gonna do at Cause of Black Y'all TV. We're going to give Family Matters the proper ending. Okay. So with that being said, here we go. So first, let's retcon Family Matters by going all the way back to season 5. Season 5 has a pivotal episode to where Steve creates a cool elixir because Laura basically lectured him, saying that he needed.
I wouldn't even start at season 5. I would have started at the season where he was on the basketball team. He was playing basketball, bro. I would have started from there. I said this in a previous video, and I'm gonna say it again. They should have developed Urkel into Stefan. Instead of creating two identities for Urkel, he should have slowly developed from Urkel as a kid, and as he got older, he starts developing into Stefan. So by the time he's grown, the glasses are gone, the suspenders are gone, he's still a nerd at heart, but he's a nerd. He's still a nerd at heart. He's smart as hell, but he's more cooler because the older you get, the more you tend to transition out of things. And I feel like they should have gradually built up Urkel's character instead of keeping him the same and just having different versions of him scattered across the whole fucking series. That shit was dumb. Now the Myrtle, I can let the Myrtle slide because that's a woman, technically. But let's see here. You had the evil Urkel bot. You had fucking OG Urkel. Then you had Stefan. Come on, man. They should have really just let him develop into that. They should have let the coolness start to come out of him, bro. Let him develop as time goes on, and then Laura slowly but surely starts falling for him. That's what they should have did. They should have brought somebody like Myra in when they were pretty much old, when they pretty much were starting high school. That's really what they should have did. I don't know why they waited until I don't know why they just kept him the same and then brought Myra in. It would have been better if they just developed Urkel's character as time went on. It would have really helped the dynamic of the show because you can start drifting away from the cartoony-ish stuff because he's not going to be a kid forever. Eventually he's going to grow up. You cannot be that clumsy and you cannot be smart and clumsy like that forever, bro. As a kid, it's understandable because you're a kid. You're going to do dumb shit from time to time. But as you get older into your teenage years and all that stuff, you start to develop more. And the fact that they never developed his character and just left him as is, and then just started building like other stupid ass like characters based off of him, that shit was stupid. Shit was stupid. Shit was fucking stupid.
That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Stop being himself and he needs to be cool. So that's what Steve does. And he becomes Stefan Urkel and he woos his friends, his family. He woos Laura. And in one of the greatest scenes probably in Family Matters history, they dance to Babyface, a great episode.
I never thought I'd say this in a million years, but what? I miss Steve Urkel.
Why?
Because he had feelings. He cared about people. Face it, Stefan, numero uno on your list is you.
Can you blame me?
Yes.
However, what I would change about this episode is that it technically never happened. Why? Because it was all a dream. Urkel used to read Rolled Up magazine, Salt, Peppermint, Heavy D, Limousine. It was all a dream as Laura dreamed of Stefan Urkel and realized how much she does appreciate Steve and apologizes to Steve after having that dream.
That's actually a dope concept. Damn, Laura, why you let yourself go like that?
So now we get to a few seasons.
Look how good
later.
she used to look back. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you right now, bro. I'm letting it be known right now. Light skinned shorty right here. Get all the dick. I ain't even playing no games. Light skinned shorty can get all the dick. I don't care. Laura let herself go. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. When they did the reunion on some random ass YouTube channel a couple years ago, I swear to God, I thought Laura was the mom, bro. I was like, where Laura at? What happened to Laura? I'm like, where's she at? Then I saw the mom, and then I'm like, wait a minute, is that the grandma? And it's like, no, that's fucking Laura. What the hell? Hey, yo, Laura let herself go, bro. I didn't even recognize her. I thought she was the grandma, bro. But then I was like, wait a minute, ain't the grandma passed away? Didn't the grandma pass away a couple years ago? What the fuck going on?
The very end of season 7 to where Steve is supposed to go to prom with Mara, but Mara gets sick. So now Steve says he doesn't want to go to prom, but then decides he's going to go to prom even if he has to go to prom by himself.
Tonight's my night. I'm going to the prom even if I have to go all by my lonesome.
Steve, wait. I'll go with you. Under 2 conditions.
Oh, no, baby.
First, I go with you when you pick up your tux.
Dang, no more of those.
I want your solemn promise that you won't bump, break, or destroy anything at the prom.
I promise. I'll try.
However, in a plot twist, Laura asked Steve out to prom. Yes, Laura actually asked Steve out to prom. And so they go to prom. And Steve actually wears a suit, a tuxedo that fits. Laura actually has a good time. And in the end, Laura and Steve kiss.
There's only one thing that's keeping this from being a perfect life.
Well, what's that?
This.
Which sets up season 8.
Steve?
Hello?
How are you?
Fine. Fine. You?
Good. Good.
What's going on here?
Nothing.
I gotta go. Bye.
I'm fine.
To where after Laura and Steve kiss, now Steve's subconscious starts to work on him, because even though he dreamed all my life, I'm dreaming someone like you. Even though Steve has dreamed all his life, to have that moment with Laura, he realizes that it was wrong, and he has to tell Mara.
You what?
Originally, Mara is going to go to kill Laura, but then decides, you know what? I've done everything you wanted me to do, Steve. I've been the perfect girlfriend, and you do not appreciate me. So you know what, Steve? You can kick rocks. I'm out. So Mara actually breaks up with Steve and moves on. So now, for the rest of the series, you have Mara play basically the antagonist, to where Myra is like a sworn enemy to Steve. So now when Steve does scholastic competitions in college, Myra is right there to be his opponent and have that tug of war of intellect. When Steve goes to try to be the president of student council, Myra's right there to compete with him. So now she went from being his rock, his supporter, to being his true competition. Meanwhile, Laura is in college and is in a sorority, to where she's helping with a fundraiser to where guys are auctioning off kisses to the highest bidder. And Steve gets involved, and because Laura has a heart, she's like, bro, we gotta update your look, bro. Like, these suspenders and everything, we gotta update your look a little bit. Try to tone down the clumsiness, right? Stop just think about what you're doing, okay? Just slow your mind down a little bit. So Laura fixes Steve up, updates his look, and kind of gives him a little bit more pizzazz. And Steve goes into the auction full of confidence. However, nobody bids on Steve, to the disappointment of Steve. Well, that's until
$100. Going once. Going twice. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Who am I kidding? Sold to me. Come on over here. I want my kiss now.
You do? You do?
Yes, so it's after this kiss that everything changes. And it's at this point to where Steve and Laura realize that there is a connection there. Laura realizes there is a connection there. And they start to date, which leads us to season 9, the final season. So first, let's talk about Carl. Carl actually decides to retire from the force.
That makes sense.
He's worked in the force for over 20 years.
Yeah,
he's done
since
everything
the beginning of the season, bro. It
And
should have been a
he's
point where
going
he
to
should have
get his
retired.
pension and relax, kick up his shoes and relax his feet. Meanwhile, Harriet, on the opposite side, gets a promotion at her job to where she becomes the big boss at her marketing firm. And now there starts to be tension between Carl and Harriet, because not only is she making more money than Carl, but she's making more money than Carl ever did as a policeman, which starts to build insecurities within Carl.
Harriet, the person who makes the most money, wears the pants in the family. Well, you're making more money than me now. So, you're gonna stop wearing the pants. Oh, look, you already are.
Meanwhile, you have Eddie, who decides to drop out of college. He is a college dropout. Shout out to Kanye.
Dad, I want to do something that makes a difference. I want to work with people I respect and admire. I want a job that's different and exciting every day.
And what kind of fairy tale job is that?
It's your job, Dad. I want to be a cop.
But last but not least, that brings us to Laura and Urkel, who, in the middle of season 9, in the Christmas episode, decide to get engaged. Yes, Steve Urkel asked Laura to marry her after not only being together a year, but knowing each other all their lives. And Laura says yes. But that's not only the important part. Another important part of the Christmas episode in season 9 is Harriet. Harriet, who, after being promoted to the big boss in the marketing firm, gets an offer to set up shop overseas for 3 months in Paris. Well, eventually she does tell Carl about the job offer, and originally Carl doesn't like it, but then realizes that, hey, you stood by my side all these years as a cop when there were nights that you worried that if I would even make it home, and who am I to stop you from living your dream of going overseas, setting up shop in this marketing firm in Paris. You have my blessing. I want you to be happy, and we'll be here waiting for you when you return. And Harriet moves to Paris for the next 3 months. And this is how you write off Harriet, the character, instead of replace her with someone else, which in the meantime, we're at the end of season 9, the series finale, the big wedding between Steve Urkel and Laura Winslow. Now, mind you, let's get to the other characters once again. By the end, Carl decides to get back into the force and become a police officer, being side by side by his son. So we wrap that up. Next, we have Harriet, who comes back for the series finale to help prep Laura as she's about to walk down an aisle. And last but not least, we have Steve Urkel, who, in old Steve Urkel fashion, is trying everything in his power not to mess up the wedding, but because it's Steve, he does. So he messes up the tuxedo, he messes up the limo, he almost messes up the church, but by hook or by crook, he finds a way to finally get everything in order before Laura walks down an aisle. So Laura and Steve are at the altar as the preacher asks, if anybody opposes this marriage, speak now or forever hold your peace. And who pops up but Myra herself, who is trying to make a whole scene saying that this whole marriage is going to be.
But what I want to know is what happened to the other daughter though? What happened to? What happened to the other daughter though? Why we can't bring her back? Why she's still upstairs? Why did they send her upstairs and she never came back down? We need answers. I mean, we know what she did after. We know what she did after that.
You's a freaky ass nigga, freaky frog. You a freaky frog. Fucking freaky frog.
We know what she was doing after Family Matters, but it would have been nice to have her come back now. Because we know what she was doing after it, right? Y'all know what she was doing, right? Yup. all know what Jamie Foxx. We all know what she was doing after Family Matters. It just would have been nice to have her come back, bro. If you're gonna bring Myra back, but then again, didn't Myra technically pass away around this time? If I'm not mistaken, while the show was still on the air, didn't she pass away around this time? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sham.
But I thought they wrote her off the show because she passed away. She was dealing with an illness that pretty much made her sadly led to her passing away. Sadly, R.I.P. to Myra though. R.I.P. to Myra.
It's supposed to be me, but Steve couldn't be faithful. Da 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 da. And here's where we get Steve going to Myra and apologizing for treating Myra the way he did all those years, to where Myra apologizes for interrupting, and they actually settle their differences as Steve goes on to continue his vows to Laura, as both Steve and Laura say I do. And Laura Winslow becomes Laura Urkel, as Steve and Laura are now married, and that's how you end Family Matters.
Yup.
So let me know what you think about how I ended Family Matters. How would you have hoped that Family Matters ended? Do you even think that Laura...
I would have ended it a little differently. I would have ended it the same way you would have ended it. I just would have developed Urkel from his youth, for when he was still a kid. Or when he still had the stature of a kid. I don't know how old he was when that basketball episode came out. But when he was playing basketball, I feel like that should have been the start of the changing of the guard for Urkel. He should have started to develop more. He should have been taken like, okay, he's smart as hell. He's athletic. He can play basketball. So now he starts looking a little different. He starts changing. His mannerisms and everything starts changing, because for the first time ever, he's finally accepted. He's no longer looked at as the dork. He's looked at like, yo, this dude right here, he can hoop. He's smart. People start to really start acknowledging him and his personality, bro. And he starts to become cool with the school. And that's what ends up drawing Laura to him. Laura's starting to draw herself to him, but it's slowly burning and it's slowly developing. And as you slowly burning and you slowly developing, when the opportunity arises, that's when Myra comes in. And Myra takes over from there. And then you have a couple of seasons with Myra. You do the same thing that you just said you did, where the prom thing happens. He kisses her, and then and then you go into season 8, and then he tells Myra what happened, and then they break up, and then they become rivals or whatever. That's definitely how it should have happened. That's definitely how it should have happened. Most definitely. You know what I'm saying? I would have pushed the Eddie thing up a season early. I would have pushed the Eddie thing up into season 8. I wouldn't have let it ride into season 9. I wouldn't have waited till season 9. I would have did that shit in season 8. And then in season 8, I would have in season 8, I would have did the Eddie thing first. I would have, instead of having Carl retire, I would have made Carl like the chief. So now he's making changes in the city. You can start having more serious topic episodes now that you got Carl as the top dog as the chief in the city. So now you can start having those hard hitting episodes like the gun episode, a marijuana episode, a domestic abuse episode, you know, a rape episode. You could have did all that shit. It could have made season 8 like a very season 8 could have been very fucking goated of a season because of all the topics that could have been touched on. You know what I'm saying, around that time frame. You know, gang violence, all that shit. You could have tackled on all that shit. Now that you got Carl as the chief of police, and at the same time, it would have also, you know, developed Eddie's character as well, because more than likely Eddie would have been the one dealing with these cases. And then I would say in that domestic violence episode, that's when Eddie meets his woman. I feel like Eddie deserved the woman. Throughout that entire series, I feel like Eddie deserved the woman. There should have been a woman there to develop him, to give his character more weight, in my personal opinion. Because I don't think just giving him I feel like if you give Eddie a woman, you basically give his character more to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it would be fair for Eddie to just be, you know, oh, I want to be a police officer. And then he finally becomes a police officer. And, you know, he's working for his dad and all that stuff. Like, nah, it's got to be more than that. Like I said, the domestic violence episode, that would have been fire. But at the same time, that could have been the episode where Eddie meets his soon to be longtime girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? They deal with that situation and get that out of the way, and then Eddie has a serious relationship with this woman. This woman and him and this woman, they settle down. They start. He moves in with her. There's an episode where he moves in with her. You can create so much dynamics with this series right here. But that's just me though. Tell me what y'all think down in the comment section below. I'll get back to you till then. Peace out.